Well, hello there. Welcome to Learning with Lynn. Today is Sunday. What are we? July 28th. And I'm excited to have you here. So I'm Lynn.
And I'm Richard.
And he's Richard. So if you're here, be sure to let us know you're here. Say hi and comment in the comments, and we'll talk to you then. So I can see a couple of people are watching. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and let me move some things around here. I am going to share my screen. There you go. Now you should be able to see my screen. And so today we're going to talk about entrepreneur skills needed to build a wildly successful Avon business. So actually, this is my blog, onlinebeautybiz.com. And you can find this if you want to. There's a search here on the right-hand side. If you're on a phone, the search will be all the way at the bottom because the phone just shows this part right here. But you can literally search in here for whatever you want. But we can search for entrepreneurial skills. And there you go, comes up, see? So that's how you can find it if you're looking for it. But so, you know, a lot of people think that they have to have entrepreneurial skills, or how successful they're going to be is going to depend on how many skills they already have. And yeah, that might make some difference, but really most of the skills can be learned as you go. You don't necessarily need to have you don't necessarily need to know it all. We all learn as we go, every one of us. I mean, some of us have some experience that helps, but you know, it's kind of a new thing for everybody, right? Building an Avon business. So here's some of the traits that you'll want to develop in yourself that will make all the difference. And you know what's funny is a lot of these are mindsets. You're going to find a lot of these are mindsets, not so much skills, although we will get into some business skills. But ambition. Ambition is really critical because sometimes, you know, the going is going to get tough. I guarantee you. At one time or another, our business is a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. And we have highs, we have extreme highs, and we have lows. And the going is going to get tough. And are you somebody that's going to just give up because things don't go your way? Sometimes there might be not even one thing that doesn't go your way. It might be 10 things in a row. It's like, you're just getting hit over and over and over again. I just scheduled a post today for social media that, you know, it says fall down 9 times, get up 10, right? I mean, you might get hit. You might get knocked down a whole bunch of times in a row. And so if you want to be successful, you have to have that ambition. You have to know that no matter what, you are going to make it happen. And so you have to have that internal drive that's going to cause you to work hard and be committed to doing what it takes to be successful. How about willingness to learn? You know, we're learning every day, every one of us. Education is a lifelong process. And in order to be successful in your Avon business, you want to be constantly learning. And, you know, and you're going to look for people who also are willing to learn and, you know, that aren't going to be afraid to ask questions or even offer opinions, but ask for opinions or advice. You need to be not afraid to ask for opinions or advice. You know, don't think you know it all, because none of us do. And so you want to be willing to learn, willing to be a sponge, just soak it up, you know. Ability to listen. Communication is essential to the success of your business. So in order to communicate effectively, whether it's your team members, your customers, you need to pay attention to what they're saying, but not only what they're saying, but between the lines, you know, their motivations, their hot buttons, their interests, especially if you're recruiting or you're prospecting for new customers and or recruits. You want to know, you know, nonverbal cues such as body language. What are they really telling you? Because sometimes if you really listen, you can find that need and you can fill it for somebody, which is huge.
2 ears, 1 mouth.
Yep, you have 2 ears, 1 mouth. He scares me, man. He starts doing sign language into the camera. So, you know, you want to try not to come off as being self-promotional or vain, and instead concentrate on what's in it for them. You know, how can you help them? How can you be of service to them? And it will make all the difference in the world. And if you can learn to listen and really listen to not only what's being said, but that's important, what's being said, but also what's not being said. So, okay, so assertiveness and confidence. So while listening is important, it's also important to know when to take control. Sometimes you just have to take charge because it's your business. And so you want to be learning all the time and you want to be listening, but sometimes, you have to make the decisions. It is your business. So listen to when others are making reasonable claims and when they have good ideas, and be consistent yet open-minded to earn respect from those around you. But also know that the ultimate decision in your business is based on your ideas. And so just know that you don't always have the right answers, and be open to hearing things that are going to help your business. But when it comes right down to it, it's going to be your decision, right? Barb Anderson, waiting for video to load.
It's not loading?
I hope somebody is seeing me because I am live. So Barb, I hope that it loads soon.
Is the connection at her end or our end?
Yeah, I don't know, but I am. It says I'm live. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. I hope that people are. If you can see and hear me, let me know. I'd love to hear. So, okay, so let's move on. So assertiveness and confidence. So listening is important, but, did I already say that? Yeah, you're ultimately for decisions. Okay, perseverance. So your Avon business is worth it, but it's not always going to be easy, right? We talked about that a little bit right in the beginning. Many Avon representatives, myself included, have suffered devastating defeats and failures. There have been times there was a time in my business when I was 13 people away from the top level, and the one person, I had to have two executive unit leaders at the time to become a senior executive unit leader. And I had one, hi Idra, good to see you. So I had one executive unit leader, and I had one that was just like 12 people away. I was 12 people away from senior executive unit leader. And we went to work, and we rented a kiosk in the mall, and we were working every weekend. We actually paid a lot of money for this kiosk, and I was working with my team members, helping them build their team, and we were signing up like 20 people in a weekend. We were really working hard. And then my second executive unit leader just disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to her. Well, I do know now, but I didn't know what happened to her at the time. She just disappeared, and her whole entire team just disintegrated under her because this is a relationship business. And the people that she brought in, the relationships was with her, not with me. And she was gone, and they just disintegrated. And so that was devastating. You think that wasn't devastating? I lost half my business like that. But every one of us who have been with Avon for any length of time, or who are at the higher levels, we've all had times that have been devastating to us. It happens. It's just the way it is. But rather than looking at those events as an end to your business, you need to look at it as an important learning moment. What could you have done differently, or what happened? And sometimes things just happen. I mean, at that time, when my business fell apart, it was when the economy took a dump. That was it 2008? Yeah. When the housing market just crashed and everything just took a dump. And at the time, we couldn't get people to sign up. All of a sudden, people wouldn't talk to us. At the same time, my business just fell apart. Whereas weeks before, we were signing up 20 people in a weekend. It just happened. But it was the economy, and sometimes you have to ride it. You just have to ride it, and then it gets better. The economy's gotten better. And but so just know that when something like that happens, if it's more than you can handle, then talk to somebody. If you're kind of new in your Avon business, or you haven't experienced this before, talk to somebody. I'll tell you, I wish that I would have spent more time talking to somebody when I did leave Avon. I actually walked away from Avon because some of the changes Avon made had devastated me. That was back when I had my store. And, Lisa Wilbur and I are good friends, and I really should have spent more time talking to her and having her talk me out of walking away from Avon, because that was the stupidest thing I ever did. I didn't quit my Avon business, but I still had my Avon business, but I didn't work it for 6 years. And Lisa and I, like I said, we're good friends, and she tells me over and over again, she goes, if you ever do anything that stupid again, I'm going to kick your butt. And she's going to remind me. But, sometimes, and she had been through worse than me because she was higher than I was, level-wise. right? So it's the same thing with me. I have 18 years experience. Somebody who might only have 2 or 3, they don't have the same kind of devastation in their business maybe, because we all get it at one time or another. Like I said, we have extreme highs and we have extreme lows. And so we have, Marcia says, I'm devastated right now, and that's why I'm here. I'm glad you're here. I am so glad you're here, and I'm sorry that you're having problems. I hope I see you at RepFest. I would love to be able to talk to you.
Reach out to us. Definitely.
Yeah, reach out. Anyway, so anyway, hang in. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're working on doing what you need to do. And Barb Anderson says, I went from $516 in campaign 15 to $55 in campaign 16.
Welcome to
I
summer.
assume you're talking about personal sales. Yeah, welcome to summer. Welcome to summer. Gosh, you guys, my sales are half of what they were in campaign 14, I think. 15 and 16. 16 was bad. 17 is coming back up for me, so hang in there. It is summer. You know, we're almost into August. Back to school is starting, and then things are going to start picking up again. That's just how it is. That's the nature of how this works. Marcia says, I will be there. Yay!
Yeah, right.
Look for me,
We'll
okay? Because I tend to sometimes get in my own little box and I don't see people. So look for me and grab me.
Give us a hug.
Yes, I want a hug and a picture. So just, you know, when things get tough, you only fail when you stop trying. You know, I walked away from Avon. I didn't continue to build my business. At the time that I walked away from my Avon business, I was at $65,000 a campaign in unit sales. It was a $1.9 million business. I really thought I could replace that income within a year with another company. Luckily for me, it is residual income. And for 6 years, Avon never stopped sending me a check. We received a check every 2 weeks. Well, direct deposit every 2 weeks. For 6 years, Avon never stopped sending me a check. And it actually held pretty steady for a couple of years, for probably about 4 years. And then it started dwindling because people were falling off and I wasn't replacing them. So when I came back 6 years later, my unit sales were less than 2,000. So we went from 65,000 to 2,000. And I can't tell you how devastating that was to look at that and go, damn, what did I do? You know, but I guess we live and learn. I don't know. I guess we live and learn. But so just remember, you only fail when you stop trying. Persistence is probably one of the most important keys to success. And that's something even Lisa Wilbur will tell you, that she'll tell you that she is where she's at because she never gave up, because she never stopped, and because she never gave up. And if I would have not stopped for that 6 years, I probably would be not too far behind her, which is really sad. Just beat me up. All right. So courage and risk taking. So in order to harness the power of creativity, persistence is probably, you have to have the courage to act on your great ideas and plans. So of course you want to research it thoroughly before you don't just jump to changes, right? But once you made the decision, then just do it. Just take the courage, take that unknown step. And even if it's something that you've never done before, you know, once you make the decision, you've got to just jump in. And Richard and I, we're really good at that. We might think about something for a while, but then we make a decision and we immediately take action. We neither one of us let the grass grow under our feet.
Yeah, we both analyze numbers and we watch things. We watch trends or whatever's happening so that we can try to get back on track again. If what we've chosen is the wrong thing, we just suck up our pride and say, well, there's got to be another way to do this. Let's try it. But we keep going so we can grow our business.
And we learn from whatever it was. Yeah. And it's more about not failing. It's not a failure. It's more of oh, that didn't work. Let's see what happened. Okay, what could we do different? Okay, let's try that. You know, it's not really a failure. Even when, you know, my business went from 65,000 to 2,000, technically that's not a failure. That was my own stupidity, but it's still not a failure. It's like, okay, I need to do something different now. Get back on track. Or, you know, when I lost my people, when I had that one person, my executive unit leader, when she disappeared, well, then I had to go, okay, maybe I was putting too much into her. You know, the truth is I was probably building her business for her too much. She wasn't doing enough on her own. So there you go. I learned from that. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Okay, so the ability to look ahead. So build a vision. Where are you going to be in 5 years? You know, be clear about your end goal as well as the stepping stones and maybe the potential obstacles that you might come across along the way. You know, we talked about this last week, but the truth is that most people overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, but underestimate what they can accomplish in 5 years. And so you might work really hard for a year and your business might not look like it's going anywhere. I mean, it's really funny. It's like you're building a base under the ground, you know, like a root vegetable where it's building under the ground and you're not really seeing where it's going. And a year from now, you might look at it and you might go, well, my business isn't much farther than it was. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. But if you put your head down and you keep working and you keep working and you keep working, in 5 years, you're going to blow your mind where your business is going to be, because all of a sudden, at some point between 1 and 5 years, it's going to take off. And that's the power of a team. That's the power of what's the word I'm trying to say? You know, when multiple people are working together to build their business. Synergy, yeah. But you know, I have people on my team who are working to build their team, who are working to build their team, and as you keep going, it starts growing. All of a sudden, it takes off. So just know that you might not get there as fast as you want to or you think you want to. Maybe 1 year won't do it, but 5 years, you're not going to believe where your business is. And the thing is that your business is going to be so successful in 5 years, and it's going to be people in your business that you haven't even met yet. That's just how it works. You haven't met them yet. They're going to come into your business at some time in the near future, and they're going to help you explode your business. Okay, Kathy is going to Rep Fest too. I'm really excited. Yay! So Marcia's going to be at Rep Fest. Kathy's going to be at Rep Fest. Barb, are you going to be at Rep Fest? I hope you are. I hope you are. Anyway, so let's talk about business skills, okay? Time management skills. You know, you got to control your time. Your calendar is your most valuable asset. So I use my calendar and I use my task list. I use that Wonder list, which I talked about before, and I use my calendar. And if it's not in that task list or in that calendar, it doesn't get done. And I live by my calendar, and we share a calendar so that we just use one calendar that we share. And so we both know what's going on all the time.
And that's
Yay, Kathy.
And that's everything that's in there. It's not just business. It's personal. It's doctor's appointments. It's, you know, whatever. If you have kids, it's picking up your kids after school. It's your business. It's whatever's in there is in there. And you can really plan your day around that pretty easily. You just look at it the day before and boom, you're ready to go.
Yeah. Before we go to bed, I always look at the calendar and see what's on it for tomorrow and kind of plan what I'm going to do. Yeah. Okay, delegation skills. You know, you don't necessarily have to do everything yourself. No, I'm ill. Oh, I'm sorry, Barb. Yeah, sure. I'm sorry you're ill. I hope that you get better soon, but I'm really sorry to hear that. So delegation. So not everything needs to be done by you. We talk about systems even, and that's kind of delegating to the systems. It's not delegating to another person, but why not? Let the systems do the work to take that off of your plate. You know, as far as reminder calls, how likely are you seriously going to give a reminder call to every single person that you gave a book to? Well, if you only gave a book to 3 people, I guess it's not a big deal. But if you're working a business like me, I'm giving out hundreds of books every campaign. And so those reminder calls, those texts and the systems that we use, the texts and the voice shot, the dial my calls, voice messages that we send to people that I don't have their cell phone number for. We mail our brochures. So it's a system. We mail our brochures. Then we send either a text or a phone message reminder saying our order's going in on Wednesday. Let us know by Tuesday if you want anything. And then Richard does his deliveries, and then we start that all over again. Excuse me. So that's one way to delegate, is use the systems. Use the systems that are there for you. And if you're not sure about the systems I'm talking about, go back to my online beauty biz blog and go to the search and type in system or automate, and you'll find them. But, you know, sometimes you can have your children or your spouse help you. Maybe your children can label your brochures for you. Maybe your spouse can help you deliver your orders.
Put books out. We joke about it, but she's the brains and I'm the brawn, and it works. I mean, it's what I like to do and what I feel comfortable doing, and she's the same way. She understands all the systems and the computer stuff, and I'm out there kind of more of a people person. I get out books and take deliveries and stuff, so it all works.
He's Mr. Personality, so it's really better that way because he's delivering the orders. He's flirting with the women and talking to them and everything. And I would be, hi, here's your order. Total is $20, and there wouldn't be a whole lot of conversation. So it just works better that way. So, if you can afford it, have an intern or a part-time clerk help accomplish some of the things that need to be done. I mean, I do things every day. Like when I get a new representative, I mail a welcome kit to them. I know that Lisa Wilbur pays somebody to do that. So, I mean, same thing. You could get a clerk or somebody that can help you with those kinds of things if you can afford it. One of the things we've talked about long and hard in our business and in all the trainings I've done over the years is hire a wife. Seriously, why not have somebody clean your house for you or clean your toilets for you, and you spend that time building your business instead of cleaning toilets? I mean, you could pay somebody $10 an hour or whatever it is, $50 to clean your house, and or whatever it is, and then you don't have to. That frees you up. That's probably 3 or 4 hours a week anyway that you're freeing up for yourself, that you can build your business.
You're freeing up your mind more than anything because you hate to do it. And you're saying, oh, God, I have to clean the house again. And so that just drags down your whole day. Whereas if you didn't have to do it, you're pretty excited about it.
And if your house is clean all the time because you're paying somebody to do it, then you can invite people over. You don't have to worry about your messy house. Then you have time to entertain or whatever it is you want to do. Whereas if you didn't have a clean house, you might not feel comfortable inviting people over, So it's all the way around. Mm-hmm. Okay, sales skills. As an Avon rep, you are a salesperson. So yes, sales skills are handy, right? So use the products yourself. Get really comfortable with the products. And maybe you can't try every product, but use what products you can. Replace any products you have in your house with Avon. I mean, if you're using a deodorant that's not Avon, switch it to Avon. If you're using perfume or skincare or whatever that's not Avon, shampoo, switch it to Avon so that you're using those products yourself and you have your own testimonial. If you know the products and you know what you like about them, then it's easy to talk about them. Take advantage of Avon U to learn everything you can about the products. Watch the Avon representative Facebook page. They do Facebook Lives all the time and other product training, and especially with new products when they're launching them. I love they do Jill, what's her name? Jill. Well, anyway,
Jill and Adriana, I think, but they've done some great things about the lip tattoo recently.
Yeah, they do, and they just did. I have it saved because I haven't watched it yet. But the brand new Matitude lipstick, I haven't watched that one yet. But if you watch those videos, then you know how to talk about them. And that's been huge for me because I don't wear a lot of lipstick. And so like the lip tattoo, I learned a lot in those videos about how to wear it, how to use it, even don't store it. Even don't store it up like this. You want to store it flat. So, I mean, those are the things that I can now tell my customers, right? So those events teach you what to say about new products and what's the best way to sell them. And then learn to tell stories because people love stories. They don't want, hi, Bonnie, good to see you. People, it's not about buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. It's about stories, about how this product helped so-and-so and how that product helped me. And people like stories and they like to know what you're doing in your own life. So Marcia says, if I tell my team members, if you see something you like in the demo catalog, get it and think about 5 or 6 people who you can share it with. That's awesome advice. Yes, thank you for sharing that because that's true. And if you share that with 5 or 6 people, you'd be amazed. Just if you did that every campaign, picked one item, your business would explode. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Facts tell, stories sell. It's not about saying, the 2-in-1 lip tattoo has got this and this and this ingredients in it. Sure, we want to talk about that it doesn't have alcohol, it doesn't dry your lips like most of them do, it has sunflower seed oil. You could talk about that, but people don't want a list of ingredients. They want stories. They want to know, hey, I've never worn lipstick and I put this on and this is what it felt like. I loved how it felt, Then that's real. That's coming from you. That's authentic. And that's the way you make money and your item is paid for. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you buy it from the demo, you try it with You show it to 5 or 6 people. They buy it. Wow, your demo's paid for. Love that. Thank you. Okay, so sales skills. And Avon U is a big help for that. Recruiting skills. Avon U is great help for that too. There's all kinds of information in there about anything you can learn about the opportunity and the comp plan. Again, stories. People love to hear stories. You know, when you're talking to somebody, look at their situation. Who are they? Are they a stay-at-home mom? Are they, do they have small kids and they want to be a stay-at-home mom? Then tell them a story about somebody on your team who is a stay-at-home mom and how Avon has helped them. You know, obviously, you're not going to tell a story about a stay-at-home mom to a power businesswoman who doesn't have any kids, right? She's not going to be interested in that. So figure out what their hot buttons are. What are they interested in? And tell stories that relate to them.
Tom Big Al Schreider says stories really work. He said it's even a key word. You say, let me tell you a story. He said the mind's really a trigger. If somebody says, oh, my skin's all messed up, I need some skincare. And if you say, oh, well, here's X, Y, and Z, try it, buy it, they're not going to respond to that. But if they say, I have skin problems, says, oh, I have a story about that. And then back in their mind, they say, wow, he's going to tell a story. I can sit back and relax him, and he's just going to tell me a story. And then, boom, they're sold.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's true. It turns off your sales triggers.
Yes,
because people are like, oh no, they're going to sell me something.
Yeah.
When you're telling a story, then it turns off their mind as far as watching out for that sales trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you know what? Learn to ask for the sale. This is whether you're selling product or whether you're selling the opportunity. Learn to ask for the sale. So, like when you're recruiting, you can say something like, "Sounds like you're ready to get started," and then let them respond. You know, say that. Sounds like you're ready to get started, and then shut up and let them talk. Shut your mouth and let them talk, because they're probably going to say, okay, great. Okay, let's do this. Go to this website, blah, 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 you know, or let's get you signed up today. Things like that. Same thing with products. You can say, oh yeah, how many can I order for you? Or what color can I get you? And ask for the sale. That's really critical. So I know Richard wasn't prepared for this, but how about I let you talk about the follow-up skills?
Oh, follow-up skills? Well,
see these statistics.
Yeah, all the statistics, they're really amazing. And it's scary because if we really paid attention to these, it goes back to what I think it was Marcia was saying about sales are off in the summer. It's the fact that people take summer off. They don't keep working their business, which like they should. But anyway, as you're building your Avon business, follow-ups are one of the most important activities you do. And the reason for that is look at these statistics. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. That's half of the people. They get somebody that comes in and wants to buy whatever it is, and half of the people they don't follow up.
They give a brochure.
Yeah, you hand out a brochure. You know,
never follow up.
You lost half your sales already.
Yeah.
25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. So now we're up to 75% of the people quit at attempt number 2. 12% of salespeople only make 3. So we're up to 87, 88% now. And now only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Only 10%. And so you can see why some people are sitting around saying, oh, my business is terrible. I wonder why they're so successful. Well, usually the ones that are successful are doing more than 3 contacts. Yeah. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. That's like if I called Lynn on the first time, only 98% of the people would tell me no. And it goes on from there. 5% are on the third contact, and that's where 88% of the people quit. So even the people that was trying to get hold of people, 88% of them quit on the third contact, but you've only gotten 5%. So 10% are made on the fourth, and then 80% are made on the 5th to 12th contact. That's the critical thing. It takes 5 to 12 contacts with somebody to make a sale. And that's where 80%. It's the old 80-20 rule here, pretty much. You know, 20% aren't doing 80% of the business, and 80%, 20% are doing 80% of the business.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? You know, that shows why follow-up's so important. And I have to say, I believe my dedication to follow-up alone had made me more successful than 90% of my competition. So that's true, because I am a big advocate of follow-up. I teach it. over and over and over again. I live it over and over and over again. I have people telling me that all the time. Wow, you're amazing at follow-up. Wow, I'm surprised you keep calling me because I haven't. And some of them are probably trying to tell me to shut up. but they're trying to be nice or whatever. But the follow-up isn't buy my products, buy my products, buy my products. It's going to be things like, if you gave a brochure to somebody, then yes, you need to follow up and say, hey, my order's going in on Wednesdays, or anything you need, or whatever day your order goes in. If you had them try a product, maybe you could follow up with them and say, what did you think about it? How did you like it? How did it work for you? And then maybe you could follow up can be things like sending them an article, or sending them a Facebook post with an article about a certain topic that they're interested in, or that has to do with what you talked about. So it's providing value. It's not just buy my stuff, buy my stuff. It's just staying in contact with them and providing value and being a resource for them. And I just did a video on this just the other day. I've made a commitment to do a daily Facebook Live. I'm struggling for topics, but I made this commitment. And I talked about this, that a lot of my customers, because I've automated them and I've automated my follow-ups. I mean, when I say automate, it doesn't just happen automatically. I mean, I put people on the list, and then every campaign I scheduled that, but I schedule it once and it goes out to 300 people or whatever it is. But a lot of my customers appreciate that, because, they don't know when your order's going to go in. And the worst thing that I hate, I feel so bad when somebody calls me. I placed my order on Wednesday, and I feel so bad when someone calls me on Thursday with a $20 order, and I can't order it for them for another 2 weeks, which means it's going to be another week after that. Yeah. So it's a minimum of 3 to 4 weeks before I can get them their product. And then that's how I feel bad. And by putting them on my text list or my voice reminder list, they know when my order's going in. They know on Monday that I need to have it by Wednesday. And if they don't get it to me, they knew, right? And so I don't have to feel bad because they knew. But a lot of times, it's the people that aren't on my list, I guess, really, that call me. And then I try to find a way to take care of them. If I can get a couple of orders together where I can do a $40 order, I'll place it online, on my website to get the free shipping. But it's providing service. You're actually, by following up, you're providing a service. Yeah. And that's customer service at its best. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, it's the customer service part of it. People are busy is the big thing. And our customers are just as busy as your customers. But you just simply say, hey, we're going to place our order. It's going in tomorrow. Do you want anything? Boom, they'll call you instantly. It's just a friendly reminder. Yeah, so Marcia says, when people say I can't make any money with Avon, I always say, well, let's look at what you're doing and see if we can adjust anything. Yes. Yeah. And then she says the follow-up is always missing. If you look at these numbers, thank you, Marcia, for sharing that. But if you look at these numbers, you'll see that 80% of the sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. And it's like less than 90% of people, only 10% are making more than 3 contacts. So yes, the follow-up is usually what's always missing. When people tell me the same thing, I can't make any money. Or I'll ask them, how many brochures did you put out? And they'll say, well, I gave one to my mom. And I'm like, and you're wondering why you didn't make any money? Even if you're making 80%, if you only sold $10, 80% of $10 is $8. You're not going to make any money. I'm sorry. The numbers is in the sales. It is in the numbers. So, I mean, you're not making 80%, but you're making 40% if you're a new representative and if you're meeting the Kickstart. And so 40% can be pretty good money, but 40% of $10 is still only $4. So, I mean, you got to have some numbers there, right? Yeah. And you got to give out a lot of brochures. And you got whether when I say brochures, it could be a physical brochure, it could be texting a link. I mean, it was Crystal Sperlin, I think, posted today. I think it was her, posted in the Northwest region that she quit doing physical brochures and has only been doing links. And she's promoting her link, and she's sending her link to everybody, and her business has like tripled this year. So how exciting is that? Go, Crystal. I think it was her. Anyway, so the follow-up, if there's one skill you need to really work on in your business, I would say this is it. This would be the most important. Well, obviously, you need to get books out to people first, because you can't follow up if you haven't given them a book or a link, right? But get it out to them and follow up, because follow up is where your sales are. Okay, the ability to troubleshoot and overcome obstacles. So this is the ability to stay calm under pressure and work and find solutions. So the better that you are at figuring out what's wrong and how to fix it, the easier your journey is going to be. Because that's a lot of what our whole everything is. It's about finding a way to overcome whatever obstacle you're coming into contact with. I mean, I can tell you story after story. I'm a geek. I'm a computer person. So yes, I might have a little more experience in some areas than some of you. But I remember when we opened our store, this was years and years ago in Ventura. We opened up our store and I had bought a credit card machine. And this credit card machine was set up to be on my network. And so that it automatically, would be on my network and it would, anyway, it was supposed to all work. And it never worked because once I ran that credit card machine once, then it wouldn't work a second time, every single time. And I was on the phone, and luckily my store wasn't open yet. I was ripping my hair out because I was like, how can I open if this isn't going to work? And I was on the phone with them for hours and hours. I mean, I like 10 hours one day and 8 hours the next day. And then, you know what? I figured it out myself. I just figured it out myself. I mean, I know you may not know what I'm talking about, but I figured out that what was happening was every time it ran a credit card charge, it would reconnect to the network with a new IP address, and it couldn't find it because now it had a new address. And so it's kind of like if you're mailing something to somebody and they move every time you mail something, can't find it. Well, so what I figured out was that if I assigned an IP address so that it never changed, boom, it worked. Now, I don't know why the people who that's what they do for a living, why they couldn't figure that out. Yeah. But that's just it. If you can find a way, Google it, ask questions. Google is your friend. Trust me, Google is your friend. But whatever it is that you're running into a problem with, don't just sit back and say, oh, darn, I have a problem. I guess I can't be successful. Don't do that. Find a way to work around it. Or if your sales aren't what you want them to be, find a way. I have articles in here. I have all kinds of articles in here. There's categories here on the side, and you can look for sales. You can look for prospecting. If your sales aren't where you want them to be, then find a way to get more sales. But I can guarantee you it's all about talking to more people, getting more brochures or more links into more people's hands or on more people's phones and tablets and computers, and follow up. That's what's going to do it. So that's what that people who are successful are people who have figured out how to troubleshoot and how to overcome obstacles. So if you can focus your attention on nurturing these traits, all of these traits that we have here, then you can be wildly successful. And I can't wait. Marcia, I can't wait to see you on stage at RepFest being recognized for your accomplishments. And you know what? That goes for everybody that's on here. I'm not just picking on Marcia. But Marcia, I know you. I know that you can do this, and I am excited for you to see you on stage, because you will be. I know you will. So that's all I have. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, that's good. That was a good talk.
So we have a hot date with our grandson here pretty soon. So let me just go back here. So, okay. So I want to thank you guys for being here today. We will not be here next week. We will be in New Orleans. Yay. Marcia, I'll be looking for you. And Kathy, I'll be with you. So you guys, I posted it in the Online Beauty Biz group. I started a text list with GroupMe. GroupMe's an app. And I started a text list. So if you want to know where we're going to be at and you want to follow us and you want to know where we're at, I will post all through RepFest where we're going for dinner, where we're sitting at in RepFest, all kinds of things so that you can find us. So get on that app and get on our list if you're interested. It's in Online Beauty Biz. It just got posted again today. Marcia says, I will be back on stage soon, and I will definitely make it to Jamaica.
All
Yay!
Right.
Woo!
Yeah, Jamaica,
we will be partying in Jamaica.
Yes.
I'll buy you a drink. So, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. So we'll miss you next week if we can. If I don't know if the things work out right, I'll try and do a live. Maybe our group can kind of all get on and talk about what we learned at RepFest. So maybe we'll do something live from New Orleans, but I can't promise, and I can't promise what time it will be. So If I can, I will. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks. So have a great rest of your Sunday. Have an amazing week coming up.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
Bye-bye.